and welcome to another edition of Access Central TV. My name's Andy Hersman, and I uh, would like everybody to participate in the show. So if you agree or disagree with me, that's fine. You can call 631 440 6012 and leave a message, leave your opinions, your thoughts about what I'm talking about the show, and I'll put them on the air. So I am quite open to everybody else's point of view. So once again, 631 440 6012 and leave a message and get your points across. That's what public access is all about, and that's what the show's all about. So, anyway, today I'd like to talk about the topic of gullibility. Now, I think that's what's really destroying this country. It's not that people are stupid or, things like that. I think what happens is people are just gullible and believe too many things that they hear. Now, you might say to yourself, hey, I'm not gullible, but think about it. What is gullibility? I mean, if you went to a car dealership, right, and there was a car, let's say, I don't know, 5 years old, and it had, I don't know, maybe 1,000 miles on it. Now, would you be gullible enough to just take that as truth, or would you question that? Would you want to find out more about the car, why it only has that many miles? See, so once you start questioning, that makes you a skeptic. And skepticism is the exact opposite of gullibility. So why do I say people are gullible? Well, think about it. For example, every time you see a commercial or an ad, and then you go out and buy something based on that, that makes you pretty gullible because you're believing what you hear without even questioning it. Now, it's different if, you did some research first and proved it to yourself that what they said is true. But most people don't bother. Same thing with Facebook. How many times am I on Facebook and then I see people, they take a meme, it has some kind of statistic on it, and they like it. They like what they see. They're gullible. They believe it. And instead of researching it, since they like it, they just share it and spread this, whatever it is. And I look at these things, and 9 times out of 10, they're not true. You could prove these things. There's a thing called Google. It's very simple to look things up nowadays. And what do you know? These things are just not true. People are just so gullible. They want to believe things. And wanting something doesn't make it true. Believing it doesn't make it true. And that's really what the problem is nowadays. I think too many people are just, constantly believing things because they like what they hear. And now, for example, in politics, that's what's going on. We got people believing what Trump says. They like what they hear. And I don't blame them. It's, we really want to hear what he has to say because it's what we want to hear, right? But that doesn't make it true. That doesn't mean he's really going to do these things. And that's the problem I have with gullibility. Because, yes, believing these things without evidence is gullibility. And Trump, I tell you, he's an expert at saying the things people want to hear. And it's scary because think about it. I mean, how gullible can people get? He says he's gonna build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. Now think about that a second. That doesn't make any sense. That's beyond ridiculous. Okay, think about this now. Um, uh, if I build up something on my property, am I going to make somebody else pay for it? Of course not. I mean, it's ridiculous. So why would you believe that Mexico would pay for a wall that we build? Why would you believe something like that? I mean, yeah, you want that to happen. That sounds like a great thing, right? But he's just saying that because it sounds good. It's not. Think a little bit. If you really believe that, you got to be gullible. So politics, advertising. I mean, that's really the problem with this country. People are just very gullible. And now I'm going to get into another topic about gullibility, which is religion. And again, in this day and age, okay, when we can prove evolution as a fact, I know a lot of people deny it, but they're just denying the overwhelming evidence that proves it. Um, Again, the gullibility of believing, these stories in an old book, it's ridiculous. It's scary that people do that. Um, and everything, not everything, but most of the things in especially the Christian religion, contradicts itself. It doesn't make any sense. How could you have a divine plan, okay, and then at the same time have free will? Now, either things go exactly the way the plan is, all right, which means you don't have a choice to change that, or you have free will, which means you do have a chance to change what the plan is, right? Now, if this so-called God is, all-knowing, and he knows the future also, all right, well, guess what? If he knows what's going to happen, then no matter what you do, it's not going to change that. So you don't have free will. It might be perceived as such, but um, so this, why are people so gullible? Like, they believe these stories, like something so ridiculous like Noah's Ark. I mean, think about it. How many animals would have to fit on this little boat? And it just doesn't make any sense, and yet people believe it. And then I love it when people try to, you know, justify it, and they make up all these different excuses for it. Oh well, maybe this is it, maybe that, or maybe no, 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 no. Come on, be real, all right? If you're going to go by the way the story was written, then you have to go by that. Now, if you're going to change and have different interpretations, well, see, there you go. Now you got a bigger problem because look at that. You got 41,000 different kinds of Christianity, different sects of. So there's 41,000 different interpretations of this so-called perfect book. Now, how do you know which one's right? How do you know which one is the one that actually tells you, the right interpretation? If you're going to have to interpret it at all, I don't know why a perfect book needs to even be interpreted, but think about it. It makes no sense. So here you are, just being gullible because you want to believe this stuff, and it's sad because if you care about reality, okay, if you care about what's real and you want to live your life according to what's real, then you can't be gullible. You have to do the extra work and research and do the things that dig up the evidence that proves the things that you believe. Okay? I don't know. What do you think? This should be an interesting thing. Again, the number here is 440-6012. That's area code 631-440-6012. Leave a message. This is not a live show, so leave your message and I will air it and we can go over it more. But it just bothers me how gullible people really are. Every time I turn around, there's just gullibility. And in this day and age, where you can look things up and you can research it for yourself. You don't have to go to the library and dig through Dewey Decimal Systems and things. You can actually just Google things. And yeah, there are websites that are full of lies. So make sure the source is credible. It's easy to look at. Really, it's not that difficult to do these things for yourself if you really care about what the truth is. So think about it. I mean, are you really happy with gullible with being gullible? I mean, I don't know. I mean, for example, I know religion, for example, brings a lot of comfort to people, and I understand that. Sure, it does. But does that make it right? Does that make it good for real? I mean, think about it. What religion really does is distorts reality so you can feel better, right? It gives you a good feeling. Now, the same thing happens with drugs. If you, I don't know, if you take heroin or you get use alcohol or whatever, it distorts reality, and then boom, you feel better. It's the same thing as religion in a way, right? Except one is chemical and one is not, but they do the same thing, and they're there for the same outcome. So what makes religion better than heroin? It's the same thing. That's why people like, for example, I get mad at people like what's his name, Bill Maher, right? He's always putting down religion, okay, and then he gloats how he's so into marijuana, right? So all he's really doing is taking one form of distorting reality to make himself feel good, and he's trading it in for a drug that does the same thing. So to me, he's kind of a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to that. I mean, I like the guy. I understand, he's an atheist. He's, you know, but on the same token, he's just doing the same thing that religious people do. They distort reality, and only for the uh, reason of feeling better. Okay. Um, what do you think? 631-440-6012. Um, sorry, I keep saying Some people don't like that. It's annoying. I understand. I'm trying not to, but anyway. So what am I talking about? Oh yeah, religion, right? So to me, it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, okay, there might be a God. I can't prove there is no God, right? Nobody can. Uh, but nobody can prove that there is a God. And that's really the problem here. If you really care about what the evidence is, I mean, what the truth is, you have to go with evidence. And the burden of proof is on the person who makes the claim. So if you claim that you believe in a God, or that there is a God, then you have the burden to prove it. And I'm not making any claims whether there is one or not, but I don't see any evidence for it. So that's my problem. I need evidence. And every time I ask for it, I get everything but. I get Bible verses, I get threats from hell, I get called a fool because the Bible says I'm a fool. I get all kinds of different things. And it's pretty funny because, it's not evidence. They'll try everything to convince me, but except they don't use evidence. So yeah, if you want to provide me with evidence, go right ahead. And I love when people say, "Oh, well, you have to, ask for him to be revealed or whatever." Now, first of all, if I'm going to ask an entity something, I have to first believe that it exists. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk to it to begin with. I'm not going to talk to nothing, right? So it doesn't make any sense. You're trying to tell me I have to believe in order to believe? No, see, it doesn't work that way. Um, it's just putting the cart before the horse. It makes no sense. So again, I mean, it's gullibility. Believing in something without evidence is gullibility. So, you know, if you really care about reality and what the truth is, then stop being gullible. Stop believing things because they make you feel good. Stop believing things because you like what you hear. Stop believing things without evidence, without looking it up. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. Come on. That's what's killing this country. Here we are. We're electing officials based on what? Not on what they stand for. I mean, some people, they have the most craziest reasons why they would vote for somebody. Oh, well, he doesn't wear a pin on his lapel, or his hair is wrong, or he's old, or a million stupid reasons that have nothing to do with the issues, the political issues. I mean, what is wrong with people? I'm sorry, but please, America, wake up, please. Don't be so lazy where you just don't want to look things up. And you don't care about what the truth is. You just want to be happy all the time. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. You can't always be happy. It doesn't work that way. Please, think about it. If you want things to be better, if you want things to, to get better, first you have to find out what the problem is. And that's not whining and complaining, by the way. So you Republicans, stop saying, if you don't like it, leave. I mean, the only way to fix things is to point out what's wrong and not just put your hands up and leave, okay? So that's one thing about Republicans I can't deal with. They're so simplistic, Everything they say, it'll fit on a bumper sticker, and they just say it over and over again until they think it's real. Gullibility, once again. That's all they care about. Oh, their whole idea of you name a topic, and they have a slogan for it. A nice, quick and easy slogan that they can, memorize and rattle out. They don't have to worry about details or facts. Just spit it out, right? If you don't like it, you can leave, right? That's what's that? What is that? That doesn't prove anything. That doesn't give you any information. That doesn't. It's just a slogan, and they're just full of them. I'm not saying Democrats don't have slogans, but come on, you can actually debate people, or independents even better. They at least they're independent because they think. They go around and they do research, and they don't care about these slogans. They care about what the truth is. So they're not as gullible as some of these other people who I call them sheeple. They just follow along. Like, what's the word? Get on the Trump bandwagon. Get on the Trump train. That's all I hear. The train. Yeah, just get on it. So you just follow along with everybody else because everybody else likes it. So, yeah, it's driving me crazy. This whole gullibility thing is just, wake up, people, please. It's not that hard. And I don't know. I think a lot of people, it is laziness. They don't want to learn. That's what another problem with this country is they don't want to. It's so simple to just, instead of, learning, let's say math or science or something, right? Just put down the people who are smart. That's easier. Just belittle them. Don't belittle those dumb people who don't want to learn. Okay? Belittle the people who do want to learn. Those are the nerds. Those are the, freaks. You just want to feel good, right? You just, come on, wake up. It's just the opposite of what you should be doing. Okay. Actually, you shouldn't belittle anybody, but come on. You shouldn't be proud of being ignorant and stupid. All right? It just doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way anyway. And the same thing with everything else, you glorify things because you're too lazy or not good at it. Uh, what's another one? I'm trying to think of another good example. But anytime, you know, if you're not good at something and you give up, so you belittle it. You don't have to try harder. Just belittle it. Ah, I didn't want to do that anyway. It's stupid to do that. Nah, give up. Instead of trying harder and succeeding, just sit back and belittle. That's what's going on now. It's disgusting. It really is. Come on, people, huh? Um, I still got about, I don't know, 7 minutes or so to talk. So once again, I'll give the phone number out, 631, well, 440-6012. Forgot the number there. Got so many numbers in my head. But yeah, that's one of the problems I have with this country, gullibility. The other things I have problems with, they all tie into it. They all tie into gullibility. But we look at all these problems we have. We have what do you call it? Police who are overstepping their bounds and being taking advantage of their uh, power. Shooting dogs on sight and you know just getting away with things that they shouldn't be getting away with. They're not being held accountable. And instead of doing something about it, oh, here we go again. Ah, you know, pretend it's not happening. Pretend it's not bad. Pretend it's you know, it's all good. We're the greatest country in the world, right? That's all you have to say. It's the greatest system in the world. There's no corruption. We have the greatest justice system in the world, don't we? Why, we don't have to fix it. It's the greatest. In the meantime, you got men who are getting forced to pay crazy amounts of alimony and child support that they can't afford, and if they don't pay, they get thrown in jail. It happens all the time. It's craziness. It doesn't affect me. I don't know. We have the greatest system in the world. It can't be. Nah, I don't believe it. Nah, come on, huh? This is craziness. This is America. We're supposed to make things better, not worse. All you do, I don't know. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible. We have corrupt judges. We have corrupt lawyers. We have corrupt politicians. Um, and that's really what I want to talk about now is politics. I mean, this is ridiculous what's going on. I mean, here we are. As I'm recording this, okay, it's about a month away before the superdelegates on the Democratic side actually vote. So here's the media jumping up and down saying Hillary Clinton has actually clinched the Democratic, convention or whatever. How? They didn't even vote yet. She didn't get to the magic number. She needs superdelegates to get to the magic number. And the superdelegates don't vote until the convention, which is July 14th, 15th, throughout, well, whatever. So she doesn't win until then. How could you declare her the winner? Because the media is owned by big, giant companies who hate Bernie Sanders. They don't want him to be the president. So what do? They make it look like it's impossible for him to win. So they declare Hillary the winner. Wait a month before it's official. And a lot of things can happen until then. Because Bernie Sanders, who knows what can happen? I mean, maybe Hillary might get indicted. She has an FBI investigation going on. I mean, personally, I can't stand the lady. Unbelievable. She's just such a liar, and it's amazing. What do you think? Because tell me, 631-440-6012. I mean, ever since she started as first lady, right? She was advocating for universal health care, fighting for it, fighting for it, fighting for it. And now that she wants to be president, and Bernie Sanders is the one looking for universal health care, what does she do? She screams at him at the top of her lungs with passion. It'll never happen! Are you kidding me? Then what were you fighting for all these years, lady? Are you insane? And we're supposed to believe you? Wow. Unbelievable. It makes me sick. And then she says, "Oh, I'm not using the Clinton name to become president." Well, yeah. When she got married, when she first got married to Bill, all right, she was such a big feminist. Oh, I'm going to keep my name, Rodham. It was Hillary Rodham all over. If you look at old videos of her interviews, it's Hillary Rodham on the screen. Then she realized, hey, that's hurting Bill's, some people won't vote for him because of that. So what does she do? She hyphenates it in order to get Bill into the presidency, right? So she changed it to, Rodham Clinton with a hyphen. And that helped Bill get into the office, okay? And now that she wants to be president, she knows Rodham's not going to win the presidency. Who's going to vote for a Rodham? Oh, but a Clinton. Yes, that'll work. That's a great name to have, right? So she dropped the Rodham altogether. Unbelievable. She'll say anything. One day she's, against the Iraq War, or one day she's for it, or one day she's against gay marriage, and now she's for it. I mean, constantly flip-flopping, depending on which way the wind blows. She'll say whatever she has to say to become president. And if you fall for that, yeah, you're gullible too. All right. Show's about over. Once again, thanks for watching. Call 631-440-6012 if you agree or disagree. I'd like to know about it. We'll play it on the air, and we'll talk more about it. Thanks again for watching. This is Access Central TV. And again, my name is Andrew Hersman. And free speech is what public access is about. So that's what I'm using it for. Have a good evening.
Hi, it's Bud Dickman from the world-famous Phil Erie Show. You're watching Access Central TV.
Long Island Backstory. Chief Correspondent Gary Jacobs is uncovering the truth on Long Island. The family court system. Red light cameras. Corruption in local politics. The heroin epidemic. Corrupt judges. At Long Island Backstory, we uncover the truth that the Cablevision news monopoly won't dare touch. We uncover the details you won't see on News 12 or in Newsday. We are local independent media at its best. Long Island Backstory, available on Public Access TV and on YouTube.